Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get so much done in a single day while others constantly feel like there's never enough time? Why some keep growing, improving, and living with energy and purpose, while others stay stuck, exhausted, and left behind, even though we all have the same 24 hours? The answer doesn't lie in how many hours we have, but in how we begin our mornings, how we wake up, how we work while the world still sleeps, and most importantly, how we use those early hours to reprogram our thoughts and actions for success. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest minds in personal development, once said, "How you start your day determines your future. Change your mornings and you change your life." Successful people aren't born disciplined. They build discipline through daily choices, especially in the morning. Jim Rohn himself transformed his life simply by waking up an hour earlier each day to read, journal, and plan. That small decision turned him from a struggling man living in mediocrity into one of the world's most influential motivational speakers. The moment you wake up is the cleanest moment of your mind, the perfect time to program your day. What you do in the first 30 minutes sets the tone for everything that follows. If you grab your phone, scroll through social media, or read negative news, your mind becomes a battlefield of distractions. But if you take that same moment to breathe, meditate, write your goals, or read something empowering, you plant the seed of awareness and intention. Successful people do not let others decide their mood for the day. They steer their own ship. Jim Rohn suggested 3 morning rituals. The first is mental nourishment, feeding your mind with positive reading, journaling, or questions like, "What am I grateful for today?" or "How do I want this day to feel?" The second is physical activation, moving your body through stretching, walking, push-ups, or yoga to awaken your energy. The third is planning, spending 10 to 15 minutes listing your priorities for the day in order of importance. These rituals may seem simple, but practiced daily, they become the pillars that hold your life steady in a chaotic world. A successful person does not start the day reacting, they start by acting. They don't wait for tasks to come to them, they already know what matters most. They don't wait for motivation, they begin, and motivation follows. They know that early morning is when the brain is sharpest and willpower is strongest. Those first few hours, often between 5 and 8 a.m., are the golden hours of success. In those hours, you should work on yourself. Study, create, write, or build something personal before the world starts demanding your attention. When you begin your day with clarity and discipline, you enter a flow state, a zone where time slows down, focus deepens, and your work reaches peak quality. Successful people don't necessarily work longer. They work deeper and eliminate distractions. They treat their time like a warrior guards a sword. They work in focused sessions, 45 to 90 minutes, on one task at a time, with no phone, no social media, no multitasking. Between sessions, they rest briefly, hydrate, breathe, or meditate to restore focus. Resting well is not laziness, it's what makes long days sustainable. The unsuccessful believe hard work means never stopping. The successful know true productivity means managing energy, not just time. They prioritize what's important, not what's urgent. They don't let messages, emails, or small demands hijack their mornings. They ask themselves a single powerful question every day. What can I do today that will bring me closer to my goals? This one question shapes their direction and replaces busyness with purpose. At noon, they don't rush through lunch or fill up on junk food. They eat to refuel the body and mind, knowing energy is the foundation of achievement. In the afternoon, they handle meetings and communication, but protect their schedule fiercely. They say no to pointless calls, meaningless requests, and draining people, because every no to distraction is a yes to their true priorities. At night, while many waste hours scrolling or watching empty entertainment, successful people remain mindful. They spend 30 minutes reflecting on their day, writing what they learned, what went well, and what to improve. Reflection multiplies growth because they don't just live, they learn from living. Before bed, they avoid social media and negativity. Instead, they read, journal gratitude, or listen to inspiring audio. They feed their minds positivity even in sleep. To start each morning with discipline and end each night with awareness, that is a complete life. It brings direction, peace, and progress. The biggest difference between successful and average people isn't talent, luck, or circumstance. It's standards. Ordinary people often tolerate lateness, laziness, procrastination, and mediocrity. Successful people set higher standards for themselves and refuse to compromise. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were stronger." You can't control the world, but you can always control how you respond to it. Success isn't about waiting for motivation, it's about acting first. Like an athlete training in the rain, you act even when you don't feel like it. Excellence isn't born from comfort, but from consistency. The successful do what others won't, until they can live how others can't. While most choose the easy, short-term pleasure, the successful choose the meaningful, long-term reward. They understand that 30 extra minutes of sleep feels nice, but waking up early changes your life. Watching videos may entertain, but reading grows your mind. Spending money may feel good, but saving and investing builds freedom. They always choose what's right over what's easy. Discipline, Jim Rohn said, is the root of all good things. If you cannot control yourself, everything else falls apart. Discipline is not punishment, it's conscious choice. It's the daily decision to live above average, one small step at a time. But discipline doesn't rely only on willpower, it relies on systems. Successful people design their environment for success. They set schedules, remove distractions, surround themselves with positive people, define clear goals, and track progress. Their days aren't random, they're designed. They know what they'll do at 5 a.m., 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m. True freedom, they understand, comes not from living spontaneously, but from living intentionally. Everything begins with awareness. Who am I? Who do I want to become? What price am I willing to pay? Once you answer those questions, clarity replaces confusion. And clarity will carry you through the hard days when motivation fades. Imagine a day in the life of someone living by Jim Rohn's philosophy. At 4:30 or 5 a.m., the alarm rings. They don't hit snooze, they sit up immediately, knowing that 5 more minutes of comfort can steal an entire morning of progress. They open the window, breathe in fresh air, and smile at the new day full of opportunity. For the first 15 minutes, they sit in silence, meditating or simply breathing to clear the mind. Then, they take out their journal and write 3 things they're grateful for, 3 things they'll accomplish today, and 1 affirmation: I am becoming a better version of myself. From 6 to 7 a.m., they exercise, running, stretching, lifting, or practicing yoga. It's not just for fitness, it's training the mind to push through resistance. After showering and a healthy breakfast, they enter the golden hours from 7 to 10 a.m., when they do their most important work, creating, learning, or building projects. The phone is silent, the world is quiet, and they dive deep into focus. At noon, they eat mindfully, rest shortly, maybe close their eyes or take a walk. The afternoon, they handle communication, meetings, or planning, but always with structure, clarity, and efficiency. By late afternoon, they reconnect with loved ones or pursue hobbies, keeping balance between achievement and joy. At night, around 8:12 or 9 p.m., they shut off all screens and read. Reading isn't just entertainment, it's exercise for the brain. Before bed, they journal again, 3 things done well, 1 lesson learned, 1 intention for tomorrow. They sleep peacefully, not from exhaustion, but from fulfillment, because every hour of their day had purpose. You don't need to copy every detail of this routine. You only need to choose 1 small thing to start. Wake up 30 minutes earlier, write a short journal, read a single page, or spend 1 hour offline. Adapt it to your life, but keep the core principles. Live intentionally, act with discipline, and move daily toward your best self. Life won't change because you watched a video. It changes when you act on what you've heard. Jim Rohn himself once felt lost and defeated, but through daily discipline, he rose to become a symbol of self-mastery. You don't need to be anyone else. You only need to become a stronger, wiser version of you. Begin each day with purpose, work with focus, live with principle, and your life will transform, not overnight, but certainly over time. Even the most successful people once felt unsure, tired, or unready. The only difference is, they started anyway, and they never stopped. So, wake up a little earlier, work a little harder, focus a little deeper, be a little more disciplined every day, just a little, and you'll see your whole life begin to change.